to Trina Talks. We are coming to you live from American Clean Power here in Houston, where industry leaders have gathered to talk about the latest innovations, partnerships, and technologies in the renewable energy space. I'm joined today by Mike Watson, Head of Product with Trina Storage. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely.
We are going to talk about one of the most exciting new announcements from Trina Storage, and that is the Elementa 3. The Elementa 3 is a big step forward with improvements from previous generations, and Mike and I are going to dig into that a little bit more. Mike, so Trina Storage is describing the Elementa 3 as a full-scale upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
For someone familiar with previous generations, can you share a little bit about what that means for customers?
Sure. Yeah. So the most fundamental component of any DC container is the battery cell, right? So the Elementa 3 is a new generation of product because we fundamentally enhanced the capacity at the battery cell level. If you look at the previous generation of our product, our battery cell was 314 amp hours. The Elementa 3 is now 587 amp hour at the cell level. So that's an 87% improvement in capacity at the cell level and a 25% improvement of capacity at the DC container level.
So what does that mean for customers?
What that means is you're going to have higher energy density in the same footprint. And as you know, energy storage is being placed in more places where energy density matters, right? Previous generations, you can have them in remote places where there's not a lot of suburban area, not a lot of buildings, and we still have that, but now you want to get your product closer to interconnection points. And so it necessitates you putting it closer to buildings and closer to suburban areas, and so you really want to pay attention to your footprint, ergo your energy density.
A major theme of the Elementa 3 is improving energy density through system-level innovation.
Right.
Not just bigger battery cells, as you mentioned. Can you walk us through how the product has evolved?
Sure. If you look at energy density at the container level and you compare it from one manufacturer to another, that's only part of the picture. And the reason I say that is because there are very few sites where you'll have only one DC container. The majority of sites have multiple DC containers, could be hundreds. What you really want to consider is site level energy density. So looking at the data sheet and comparing energy density from one container to the other, again, part of the picture, the more full picture is actually sizing of a project. And so your overall footprint and energy density could change if you look at it at a site level. And that's what's important.
The Elementa 3 delivers a significant jump in energy capacity and a more compact footprint, including reductions in field area and cable length. So how do those improvements translate into real-world customer benefits?
If you look at a project site, there's a predetermined footprint. Okay, so you only have so much space to put in equipment, right? So if you take our product and you're able to put more battery containers in the same footprint, then you'll have more energy density, right? And what we've done is we've retooled our containers so that they fit back to back, side to side, within 10 millimeters of each other, and proved the validation through large-scale fire testing to show that you can decrease the footprint in that way. Additionally, increasing the capacity but keeping the same footprint at the DC container level also improves energy density. So all of these aspects benefit your ROI for your assets on the ground.
And I think what I'm hearing you talk about is bringing things in, making things closer together.
Yes.
How does this impact the project economics?
If you look at a project, you have to take into consideration CapEx and OpEx and things like your augmentation strategy. So if you have your augmentation strategy with the same area from which you started, having a smaller footprint for the original assets will allow you to place more augmentation at a later time.
So, efficiency and performance seem to be very central to the launch of the new Elementa 3, from intelligent temperature control to chip level active balancing technology.
Right.
Can you explain how the Elementa 3 is designed to maximize performance over time?
Absolutely. Historically, most DC container assets, you'll have what's called passive cell balancing. What that means is if you have multiple battery cells at different states of charge, you need to get them all at the same level. And the way passive balancing works is if a battery cell is charged too high, there's a bleed off resistor and it will just let go of that extra charge in the form of heat, which is waste. So you're just burning it off into the atmosphere. That's passive. Active balancing, what it does is it takes that extra charge when one cell might have too much charge and it transfers it to a different cell with a lower charge.
Okay.
So you're not bleeding off excess charge as heat, so you're not wasting energy. You're transferring it from one to the other. If you had, 5 cups with different levels of water, active balancing is making sure that you take one cup that's more full of water and pour it into the emptier cups so that they're all even. And I will add that Elementa 3 is our first product that has the option for both passive or active cell balancing, depending on what the client wants.
So why are those advancements important?
The reason is flexibility. We want to provide as many options as possible to the buyer. Whether you need deflagration panels or not, we have the option to purchase them. Whether you need active balancing or not, you have the option to purchase it. Whether you need an augmentation strategy or not, you have the option. So we just want to provide all of the different options so that the buyers can be flexible with their application strategy.
Safety and resilience are increasingly important topics in energy storage, and Elementa 3 includes features designed for harsh environments, advanced thermal management, and enhanced fire safety verifications. Can you share how Trina Storage has approached these areas?
Absolutely. As we did with our Elementa 2, where we did the large-scale fire testing, it's going to be no different for Elementa 3. And I'm happy to share that we are currently working on the plan to perform large-scale fire testing for Elementa 3. And because we've done it already with our Elementa 2, now we've gained experience. We're poised to make even more improvements with our large-scale fire testing for our Elementa 3.
Can you share some of the confidence, some of the feedback that we've received from customers when it comes to fire testing and having that experience under our belt?
Sure. The industry has moved in the direction of large-scale fire testing is now required, right? So if you don't have it, you're locked out of a lot of different markets. The goal is for any time somebody thinks about Trina Storage, they know that we are credible with our safety, with our capacity, with our performance, and we're always ready to provide any documentation that's necessary for them to enter any market that they need.
As we are just launching the Elementa 3 here in the North American market, is there anything else you'd like to share with our Trina Talks viewers and listeners about this new solution?
I do. Elementa 3, what it does in the North American market is it provides an additional layer of flexibility. Our Gen 2 is not going away. It's a staple, it works, it's proven. We have data, we have compliance, we have testing, we have assets in the field that are operational. And what Elementa 3 does, again, it provides more flexibility. So now you have more options. You can do, like we talked about, active versus passive balancing. Both products will undergo large-scale fire testing or have already. You have improved capacity at the cell level for Gen 3, if that works for you, or you can continue moving forward with a tried and true tested Gen 2 model.
If you are interested in learning more about Elementa 3, I encourage you to reach out to one of our sales representatives or have a conversation with Mike, because he really does have all of the product answers for us. Mike, thank you so much for joining me today at American Clean Power. Have you got to walk the show floor yet?
I've walked a little bit, and there's a lot more walking I need to do.
Yeah. One thing that stands out to me at this conference is all of the networking, all
Oh,
of
yeah.
previous partners or customers. There are so many conversations, and I've ran into at least 3 people that I did not intend to see, but ended
Yeah.
up having conversations with. And I think that's what you can see when you look around, whether you're in the lobby or whether you're on the show floor. That's what you see.
I call these conferences an industry family reunion. Every
Exactly.
time I come to these, I see all the people that I know in the industry, friends and colleagues and former colleagues and
Yep.
potential future colleagues.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So before we wrap up, I did hear a little birdie told me that we had a change in your job title.
Right.
And I know I introduced you as the head of product, but would you be willing to share your exciting news?
Absolutely. We looked at our organizational structure on the engineering side and realized that we can actually increase our efficiency by streamlining the way that we're structured. And as a result, I am now going to be the head of product and engineering, so overseeing product, applications, and systems, which can really help enhance our discussions by streamlining the answers under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations. It's well
Thank you.
deserved.
Thank you.
Anyone who's had a conversation with you would agree with me as well deserved. So, woohoo, thank you again for sitting down and chatting with me more about the Elementa 3 launch in North America. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Trina Talks. Be sure to hit the like button and share this video with your project team. Until next time, may your LCOE be low, your efficiency high, and your systems optimized. I'm Melissa Cavanagh, and this is Trina Talks.